Hi, welcome back to KSG, Knowledge, Skills, and Gear. I'm Joe, and today we're going to take a look at what you can do today to start building your readiness library for free. Before we jump in, if you find these videos informative or think we're helpful at all, go ahead and subscribe, crush that thumbs up for us, and share us out with your friends. So here we go, a readiness library. We all put things back. We have a couple of things for contingency and emergency. Why not a book of skills? Quick, can you think of 3 knots that you can tie right now if you had to set up a ridgeline and make it nice and taut? Chances are, if you're like the normal person, you've done this before. You can do it, but you don't have these in the top of your head, right in the front of your mind. So what we do is you keep things like the knot card that we had in our hammocking video. Well, that's part of your readiness library. Now, we live in a wonderful modern age where we all have these things, and this can not only be your communications device, but it can also serve as a host for your readiness library. You can keep a lot of information in your average smartphone now. Not to mention, if you have Android, they're ever expandable by those nice tiny little micro SD cards. And putting information on them even from your computer is easy with a simple device like this. This is from Kingston. It's simply a multi-card reader. I'll go ahead and link to it down in the video description here. As well as I'll go ahead and throw in a link to a couple of the types of small SD cards and micro SD cards that we use here. The advantage to this is you can literally fit thousands and thousands of pages of PDFs into a tiny little space. It takes up almost no room, is eminently searchable, and super easy to use. Now, in the event where you don't have power for a long time, if you're without a solar charger, things like that, well, access can be limited and paper is still king. So this does not replace your paper library at all, but it does augment it and it makes it more portable. One other thing that I do highly recommend doing is if you put part of your readiness library on a USB drive, is that you go ahead and encrypt that drive. You can do this using Windows BitLocker, or you can buy a pre-encrypted drive or any of the host of other services that are out there for it. And in addition to your readiness library, you add in things like your birth certificate, your social security card, and things like that. Simple digital copies of it that might help you establish or reestablish identity. Because most emergencies that we're going to face where we might have to get out of our house, it could be a fire, it could be a flood, any number of things. These are imminently recoverable, and having even digital copies of those documents will certainly make the process easier, and you're not getting a space or weight penalty for carrying them. So, without any further side notes, developing a prepper library is essential. It gives you a nice backup for all of the skills that you're going to need. There are tons and tons of resources out there on sites like ours, different like-minded people. There's some sites off of Facebook as well as forums you might belong to where people do share things like the knots and splicing book that I'll share in the description below. They share planting tables, instructions on how to set up farmland. There's a well-known podcast that puts out even written down instructions on how to do swaging and permaculture. There's a lot of things that we can use that can help us in reestablishing or becoming more independent. You can go ahead and download these for little or no cost, and you can print them off for little or no cost again. So there's no reason for you to not do this. You can put these up in 3-ring binders as well as keep a digital backup for the future. It's almost limitless, the things that you can find in digital downloads. What I'm going to ask that y'all do, maybe this can be our little bit of readiness homework, is how about in the links, let's go ahead and put up some sources that we find helpful where we can find good information that's either little or no cost, and let's help each other out with developing these prepper libraries a little bit. Once again, I'll put a link in the bottom to a knots and splicing book to start us out. I will also go ahead and link to that multi-card reader as well as a few SD card readers. Now, I do use Amazon links because everybody has access to it. Of course, you can also shop locally, and if it's mom and pop, even better. I completely support that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. This has been a nice quick video. We're KSG, that's Knowledge, Skills, and Gear. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, help our channel grow a little bit, subscribe to us, and share us with your friends. Thanks a lot.